Portuguese footballer Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the wealthiest athletes in the world. He was the third highest paid athlete in 2018, after Lionel Messi and Floyd Mayweather, and his total net worth is more than $450 million. He's currently earning $340 million over 4 years with the Italian club Juventus, and that's before you factor in his endorsements. In fact, Ronaldo has an exclusive deal with Nike, where they pay him $30 million a year for the rest of his life. That means he'll have $1 billion by the time he's 73. So how does Ronaldo allocate his ample resources? Today we're exploring how Cristiano Ronaldo spends his millions. Ronaldo has a wealth of real estate spanning the entire globe. Most recently, he picked up an entire hotel in Monte Carlo, France. The price? A whopping $140 million. Though Ronaldo intends to use it as a business and will eventually recoup those expenses. But this is not Ronaldo's first foray into the hotelier industry. Back in 2015, he announced the purchase of 4 different resorts. Under the name of Ronaldo's CR7 brand, the hotels span 4 cities closely linked to Ronaldo's life. His hometown Funchal, Lisbon, where he first started his youth career, Madrid for his tenure with the famed Spanish club, and New York, where he was considering a move to Major League Soccer. But the crown jewel of his collection has to be a stylish, football-themed hotel in Portugal's Madeira, where guests can lounge by a rooftop infinity pool, exercise in an open-air gym, and take a bath in a room designed to look like a football field. "I was always dreaming of having my own hotel," the 30-year-old told CNBC. The Portuguese native became a shareholder of Pestana's international hotel chain, which marked his first investment outside of fashion and sport. Ronaldo explains the hotel idea first came about during a casual conversation with the company in his native Madeira, an archipelago of 4 islands facing the Moroccan coast. A personal connection with chief executive Dionisio Pestana, whose father founded the Pestana Group, sweetened the deal. And he recently bought a luxury complex called Coco Bay Towers in Vietnam. Together with his other properties, you have the makings of a hotel empire. And this is before we even mention the homes that Ronaldo uses personally. Ronaldo also owns a penthouse in New York's Trump Tower, in addition to an 8-story mansion in Turin, Italy. These homes combined are worth more than $25 million. Add these to his hotel chain and his real estate swells to a value of almost $200 million. Ronaldo is a massive fan of luxury sports cars. Although Ronaldo has never publicly admitted his admiration for a particular model, his Instagram feed makes his fondness for the custom-made CR7 Bugatti Chiron quite evident. It's also the most expensive in the collection. It costs more than $4.7 million, and Bugatti limited production to just 500 models. Chiron is the fastest, most powerful, and most exclusive in the Bugatti brand lineup. Fans call it a hypercar because it maxes out at 261 miles per hour and can go from 0 to 60 in less than 2.5 seconds. The BMW M6 was one of the first cars Ronaldo purchased while playing for the Manchester United. It cost him $102,000 when he bought it in 2006. It was a basic model featuring a mighty 5L V10 engine, but Ronaldo likely purchased a model with a few extra bells and whistles. Not one of his fastest cars, but certainly one of the most powerful. Ronaldo has a Bentley GT Speed. With 592 horsepower, the GT Speed produces lots of power on the road, just like its owner rules the football pitch with power and speed. Its top speed is 189 miles per hour, and it goes from 0 to 60 in just 3.4 seconds. And no car collection is complete without some Ferraris. The superstar also appears to be enamored with them, since he has a fleet in his garage. Cristiano Ronaldo's Ferraris include a 599 GTO, an F430, and a 599 GTB Fiorano, for a total cost of well over $1 million. Rounding out the collection is a Rolls-Royce Phantom. The car is worth more than $400,000. It boasts of a twin-turbo V12 that generates 563 horsepower. And bear in mind, these are just the highlights. Ronaldo's total collection includes dozens of cars and is worth more than $11 million. All these cars are impressive, but Ronaldo needs something even faster and more luxurious when he travels long distances. He has one of the most lavish private jets on the market, the Gulfstream G650. It cost him a cool 32 million euros and accommodates up to 18 of his closest friends. Ronaldo's plane can hit a top speed of 610 miles an hour and has a range of 7,000 nautical miles, so he could easily fly from Turin to Manchester and back without refueling. The plane is also personalized with his initials. According to Spanish site El Confidencial, Ronaldo rents out his jet at a cost of 6,000 euros an hour to recoup some of the cost. Apparently, the player has a deal with charter company Executive Airlines and receives a percentage of all the retail income. Even though Ronaldo is the second highest paid footballer in the world, he balances his expenses just like everyone else. And bear in mind, this isn't Ronaldo's only private jet. In 2015, he opted for a 19 million euro Gulfstream G200. It's unclear whether he sold this aircraft to pay for his current pair of wings, but it's possible he has the makings of a fleet. For a while, Ronaldo was leasing a yacht for 45,000 euros a week. Considering he spends much of the year playing for Juventus, it didn't make sense for him to buy one of his own. But in July 2017, Spanish authorities raided his yacht and searched it exhaustively. Ronaldo made it clear he was not pleased. He told Spanish TV program Jugones, "Spain looks after me, but for example, there are 1,000 boats in Formentera, and the police come onto the smallest little one, Cristiano's one, with cameras. Are we murderers here or what? And I was having a nap below, nice and calm, and I heard the police above. I went up and said, what is going on here? They had pistols." After this experience, Ronaldo opted to buy his own super yacht. It's made by Palmer Johnson Ascari and is worth in excess of 9 million euros. The yacht features a lavish master bedroom, a tanning area, and room for up to 9 guests. The boat can cruise at a healthy 35 knots and requires a crew of 3 people to operate. In addition to some pretty impressive modes of transportation, he also puts a huge emphasis on his appearance. The star has a number of gaudy, diamond-encrusted watches that he wears when the feeling suits him. At a recent press conference, he donned the Jacob & Co. timepiece from the Caviar Tourbillon range. It's a watch which is encrusted with 424 white and red diamonds. The price tag? Something in the neighborhood of $2 million. Of course, Jacob & Co. know the value of putting their merchandise on a celebrity like Ronaldo, so he has an endorsement with them. Of course, the watch wasn't free, but he probably got a significant discount on the timepiece. The same cannot be said for the Frank Muller watch he was spotted with recently. This watch has so many diamonds it's almost blinding and cost a cool $1.2 million, more than most sports cars. Ronaldo has a reputation for being a bit of an egomaniac. Love him or hate him, Ronaldo has no shortage of self-esteem. So when Madame Tussauds unveiled a wax statue of him at their Madrid location in 2013, Ronaldo was first in line to check it out. He loved it so much he considered it an extension of himself. He even sends a hairstylist to the museum once a month to ensure the hairdo bears a convincing likeness. But that wasn't enough for the football star. He hired British wax artist Michael Wade to create a replica of it. When asked about the experience, Wade said, "We still had the mold that we'd used to sculpt him in 2013, so this copy was complete duplicate, and Ronaldo sent us a football kit and his latest boots to make it up to date. We left the hair alone because that's exactly how he wanted it. We put all the hair in one at a time, and then in Madrid his hairdresser came along to cut it. The price of the replica statue? 20,000 euros. This is a relative bargain when you consider the amount of work that went into the piece." But the Juventus player isn't only focused on himself, he also gives a sizable amount of his income to charity. The 34-year-old's most recent philanthropic project will be to fund the construction of a pediatric hospital in Santiago, Chile, as part of a joint venture with Italian businessman Alessandro Proto, with others to follow in more South American cities. Earlier this year, the Portugal captain auctioned off his 2013 Ballon d'Or trophy for £600,000, with all the proceeds going to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And in 2016, he made a generous donation to Save the Children for food, clothing, and medical care to help the plight of children in Syria. Later the same year, Ronaldo was asked to donate his jersey or shoes to raise 60,000 euros for a 10-month-old infant suffering from a brain disease. Ronaldo paid all the hospital bills by himself and gifted his jersey and shoes to the toddler. This is in addition to major philanthropic efforts in both Palestine and Nepal. He pledged $5 million to the mountain nation after a devastating earthquake in 2015. For 3 of the last 4 years, he's donated more money than any sports player in the world. But in order to give money away, Ronaldo is determined to make money hand over fist. For one thing, he has the biggest Instagram following of anyone in the world. That's part of why his sponsors pay a hefty sum for just a single sponsored post on his social media pages. Hookit estimates that Ronaldo has more than 2.3 million social media interactions and views per post. Those interactions generate $1.8 million in value per sponsored post for brands like Nike. And according to social media research firm Isaiah, Ronaldo has made close to $400,000 on each of his sponsored posts on Instagram in 2019. Ronaldo also has something no other rival soccer player has, a lifetime contract with Nike that is worth an estimated $1 billion. That deal was made back in 2016 and has the potential to go on for decades after he's retired from soccer. NBA legend Michael Jordan had a similar deal with Nike, which has paid him every year since retiring back in 2003. Ronaldo also has a lucrative line of underwear, shoes, custom blankets, and fragrances. His CR7 company is worth an estimated $100 million, and it's growing as he branches out into new business ventures. He also has an app and a line of restaurants in the development stages. In 2017, it was revealed that one of Ronaldo's endorsements was for a Cyprus-based investing firm called Exness Group. The company was scrutinized for charging investors more money when their funds did poorly. In a study, they found that 82% of users lost all of their investments and were then charged additional fees by the company. The firm allows clients to borrow funds totaling up to 500 times their original deposit. Ronaldo has since parted ways with Exness. With such a healthy business portfolio, he doesn't need to deal with disreputable companies.